Good morning, STEM students. Again, I'm Mr. Norman Cibaroso, and I'm going to discuss to you about the standard form of an equation of an ellipse. At the end of this video, I'm expecting that you will be able to transform general form to the standard form of an equation of an ellipse, identify parts of an ellipse, and graph an ellipse. Let me present to you the illustration of the graph of an ellipse. Ellipse can be oriented horizontally or vertically. But how are we going to know if the ellipse is oriented horizontally or vertically? If the foci and vertices are aligned horizontally, therefore the graph of an ellipse is oriented horizontally. While if the vertices and the foci are aligned vertically, therefore the graph of an ellipse is oriented vertically. Now, as you can see, the standard form of the equation of an ellipse oriented horizontally is x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared is equal to 1, as you can see here, this one. Now, as you can see, this is the center. Then, we also have the vertices. Here are the vertices. From the center to the vertices, there are a units. While this is what we call the co-vertices. From the center to any endpoints of the co-vertices, there are b units. And then, we also have the foci. From center to the foci, there are c units. So it implies that A is used for vertices, while B is used for co-vertices, and C is used for foci. Now, let me present to you the illustration of the graph of an ellipse oriented vertically. So as you can see, like what I told you, it is vertically if the center, if the vertices and the foci are aligned vertically. Now, as you can see, the formula here is x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equals 1. As you can notice, a should be the greater value on the denominator. If the greater denominator is located below the y variable, therefore it is oriented vertically. While if the greater denominator is located on the denominator of the variable of x, therefore the graph of the ellipse is oriented horizontally. Let's example, how to know the orientation of the standard form of an equation of an ellipse. Okay, let's have an example. For instance, the given is x squared over 16 plus y squared over 9 equals 1. And the other one is x squared over 25 plus y squared over 36 equals 1. As you can see, the first thing that you're going to do is to take a look on the denominator. On our first example, we have 16 and 9. The first thing that you're going to to ask to yourself is, which is greater? Is it 16 or 9? Of course, the greater denominator is 16. Since 16 is on the denominator of x variable, therefore, it is oriented horizontally. While on the other hand, as you can see on the second example, we have 25 and 36 as the denominator of x squared over 25 plus y squared over 36 equals 1. Since 36 is greater than 25 and 36 is also located on the denominator of y variable, therefore, the ellipse is oriented vertically. Let's try an example. For instance, we have x minus 1 squared over 100 plus y minus 5 squared over 144 equals 1. Again, the first thing that you're going to take a look will be the denominator. We have 100 and 144. As you can see, 144 is greater than 100. And 144 is also located on the denominator of y. So therefore, since it is located on the denominator of y, therefore it is oriented vertically. So I hope you already know how to identify the orientation of the standard form of an equation of an ellipse. Let's second skill that we need to know. How to know where the center is located. Let's have an example. For instance, we have x squared over 25 plus y squared over 49 equals 1. Now, as you can see, in order for us to locate the center, we're going to have age k. Just always remember, age, ito po yung kasama ni x. Si k yung kasama ni y. Let's take a look on our example. Age is kasama ni x. Since dito wala pong kasama si x, automatic your age is 0. In order for us to find k, as you can see, ito yung katabi ni y. Since walang katabi si y, automatic it is 0. Therefore, center is located at the origin or at 0, 0. Let's try another example. We have x minus 5 quantity squared over 100 plus 5 plus 2 quantity squared over 49 equals 1. Again, we have center at age k. Now, to know the value of age, ito yung kasama ni x. Ito si x. Ang kasama niya, negative 5. Inenegate natin ang negative 5. Therefore, age is 5. K ay kasama ni y. Ito si y. Ang kasama niya, positive 2. Inenegate natin ang positive 2. Therefore, it will be negative 2. Therefore, center is located at 5, negative 2. Let's try another example. For instance, you have x minus 1 quantity squared over 49 plus y minus 10 quantity squared over 169 equals 1. Again, to locate the center, we have age k. So, ang age kasama lagi ni x. Ang kasama ni x is negative 1. Therefore, inenegate natin si negative 1, age is equal to 1. Then, in order for us to know the value of k, ang k ay kasama ni y. Ang kasama ni y is negative 10 and we're going to negate negative 10. Therefore, we have 10. Therefore, center is located at 110. Now, since you already learned the two skills, first is the orientation. The second is how to know where the center is located. We need to know the values of A, B, and C. Let's have an example. Okay, let's have an example. For instance, our given example is x squared over 25 plus y squared over 9 equals 1. Now, to know the value of a squared is the greater denominator. As you can see, 25 is the greater value of the denominator. Therefore, a squared equals 25. To know the value of b squared, ito yung mas mababa sa 25 or the other one. And that's 9. So, b squared is equal to 9. Now, in order for us to know the value of a, we need to get the square root of both sides. Therefore, a is equal to 5. Now, in order for us to find the value of b, we need to get the square root of both sides. So, b is equal to 3. Now, to know the value of c, we have the formula c squared is equal to a squared minus b squared. Since according to our example, a squared is equal to 25, by substitution property, instead of writing a squared, we're going to write 25. Bring down minus. Instead of writing b squared, we have b squared equals 9. So, we're going to write 9. So, we have c squared is equal to 16. And in order for us to find the value of c, since naka-squared pa si c, we need to get the square root of both sides. So, c is equal to 4. Therefore, the values of a, b, and c A is equal to 5, B equals 3, and C equals 4. Let's try another example. We have x minus 1 squared over 169 plus y minus 5 quantity squared over 144 equals 1. Again, a squared represents the greater denominator. Since the greater value of the denominator is 169, therefore a squared is equal to 169. And b squared represents the lesser value, which is 144. So therefore, b squared is equal to 144. Now, to find the value of a, we need to get the square root of both sides. So therefore, a is equal to 13. Here, in order for us to find the value of b, we need to get the square root of both sides. So b is equal to 12. Now, again, in order for us to find the value of c, we have c squared equals a squared minus b squared. Now, by substitution property, instead of writing a squared, we have a squared equals 169. Bring down minus. Instead of writing b squared, we have b squared equals 144. So we're going to write 144. Now we have c squared equals, need to subtract 169 and 144, and that is 25. Since c, meron pa po siyang squared, we need to get the square root of both sides. So therefore, c is equal to 5. Therefore, the values of a, b, and c are 13, 12, and c, and 5 consecutively. Since you already know the 3 important skills that we need in order for us to identify the parts of an ellipse, let's try identifying the parts of an ellipse. Let's have this example. The example is 25x squared plus 36y squared minus 900 equals 0. As you can see, this is different from the first example because this is in general form of an equation of an ellipse. So the first thing that we need to do, we need to determine the standard form of an equation of an ellipse. It implies that we need to transform this equation into standard form. Let's have this one. The first thing that we need to do is to transpose negative 900 to the other sides. So we have 25x squared plus 36y squared is equal to, since we transpose negative 900 to the other side, we will be changing the sign from negative, it will become positive. So we have equals 900. Now, since we need to equate this by 1, we need to divide both sides by 900. Why is it 900? Kung ano po ang constant term natin here, doon po natin siya i-divide. So therefore, we need to get the simplified form of 25 over 900, and that's x squared over 36. Plus, we need to get the simplified form of 36 over 900, and that's y squared over 25 is equal to 1. Therefore, the standard form of the equation of an ellipse is x squared over 36 plus y squared over 25 equals 1. Since we already have the standard form of an equation of an ellipse, the next step is we need to find the orientation. Like what we discussed, in order for us to find the orientation, we're going to take a look on the denominator. The denominators are 36 and 25. The greater value is 36, and it is below the variable x. Therefore, the orientation is horizontal. Next, we need to find the center. So since center can be written as HK, at yung H, ito po yung kasama ni X, at wala namang kasama si X. Therefore, it is 0. Para kay K, ito yung kasama ni Y. Since walang kasama si Y, therefore, it is also 0. Therefore, center is located at the origin or at 0, 0. Now, we need to find the value of A, B, and C. To find the value of A, B, and C, again, we need to write A squared. A squared is equal to the greater denominator, and that's 36. And B squared is equal to 25. Now, to find the value of a, we need to get the square root of both sides. Therefore, a is equal to 6. Now, in order for us to find the value of b, we need to get the square root of both sides. Therefore, b is equal to 5. Now, in order for us to find the value of c, we use the formula c squared equals a squared minus b squared. Now, by substitution property, instead of writing a squared, we have a squared equals 36. So we need to write 36. Bring down minus. Instead of writing b squared, since b squared equals 25, we're going to write 25. Therefore, c squared is equal to 11. However, we need to get the square root of both sides in order for us to find the value of c. So c is equal to square root of 11. So let's rewrite a equals 6, b equals 5, and c equals square root of 11. On our first explanation, you've learned that a represents or used as basis for vertices. B is used in order for us to find or locate the co-vertices. And C is used in order for us to locate the foci. So the first thing that we need, or the next thing that we need to do, is to graph. Now let's use graphing. The first thing that we need to do is to rewrite the values of A, which is equal to 6, B, which is equal to 5, and C, which is equal to square root of 11, or approximately square root of 11 is equal to 3.32. And the orientation, which is horizontally. So now, the first thing that we need to do is to locate or plot the center. The center is located at 0, 0. So therefore, we have here. So center at 0, 0. Now, the next step is we can locate the vertices. How are we going to locate the vertices? Since the orientation is horizontally and A is used in order for us to locate the vertices, therefore, we're going to count 6 units from the center, right and left. So therefore, from this center, we're going to count 6 units. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So therefore, the first vertex is located here. And the second vertex, we're going to count 6 units. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the second vertex is located here. So therefore, we have B sub 1 and B sub 2. As we can see, B sub 1 is located at 6, 0. And B sub 2 is located at negative 6, 0. Now, the next step is we can locate the co-vertices. In order for us to locate the co-vertices, we're going to use B equals 5. So we're going to count 5 units, upward and downward. Why? Kasi po, nilocate natin ang vertices, nagbilang tayo ng 6 units left and right. So, ibig sabihin ngayon, kasalungat naman. So, magbibilang naman ngayon tayo ng 5 units upward, downward. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, therefore, we have the co-vertices here. So, we denote co-vertices as W sub 1 and W sub 2. W sub 1 is located at 0, 5, while W sub 2 is located at 0, negative 5. Now, we already have the co-vertices. In order for us to find or locate the foci, we use C, which is equal to square root of 11 or approximately 3.32. Bakit po natin kinuha yung decimal form? Kasi po, hindi natin malolocate kapag square root of 11. So therefore, para malocate natin kung ilang bilang or ilang units, we need to transform this into or convert this into decimal form. And that's 3.32. So therefore, from the center, kung paano ka nagbibilang kay A, kay co-vertices, ganon din yung process ng pagbibilang mo kay C. So since nagbilang tayo kay co-vertices ng right, left, therefore, para malocate natin si foci, we're also going to count right, left from the center. So this is the center. We're going to count 3.32 units. So 1, 2, 3. Therefore, nasa gitna siya ng 3 and 4. Therefore, the first focus is located here. And then, again, bibilang naman tayo pa left, 1, 2, 3. So, in between siya ng 3 at 4. So, therefore, the second focus is located here. So, therefore, f sub 2 is negative. Square root of 11, 0 is located. And f sub 1 is located at square root of 11, 0. Now, after having the center or plotting the center, vertices, foci, and co-vertices, we can now have an ellipse. Let's now have the next example. The next example is 49x squared plus 81y squared minus 98x plus 972y minus 1004 equals 0. Again, since that is in general form, we need to transform that in standard form. So again, we're going to transpose the constant term on the other side, and we're going to combine like terms. So we have 49x squared minus 98x plus 81y squared plus 972y. Since we transpose negative 1004, it will become positive 1004. Now, we have 49x squared and minus 98x. And 81y squared plus 972y. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to have the common monomial factor. Paano tayo magko-common monomial factor? Kung ano ang katabi ni x squared, ilalabas po natin siya. Ang katabi ng x squared ay 49. So, ilalabas natin yung 49. Magkakaroon tayo dito ng 49 quantity. So, we need to divide 49x squared divided by 49. Ang matitira na lang ay x squared. We need to divide negative 98x divided by 49. We have negative 2x. Then, plus. So, dito naman po, kung ano yung katabi ng y squared, ilalabas natin. So, we have 81. So, maglalabas tayo ng 81. And then, we're going to divide. 81y squared divided by 81, we have y squared. 972y divided by 81, that's 12. Y equals 1004. Now, after that, we need to use completing the squares. So, we need to have 49x, quantity x squared minus 2x. Maglalagay ngayon tayo dito ng patlang. Plus 81 y squared plus 12y, and then maglalagay ulit tayo ng patlang dito, equals 1004. Now, para malaman natin kung ano yung i-add dito, we use the formula b over 2 squared. Since our b is 2, so we have 2 over 2 squared. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Pag in-squared natin, that's 1. So we have plus 1. So since nag-add tayo dito ng plus 1, therefore, we're going to add here plus 1 times 49. Bakit may times 49? Kasi, ang in-add natin dito hindi lang 1. Meron pong nasa labas ng parenthesis, which is 49. Therefore, we need to add plus 1 times 49. Here, again, we're going to use b over 2 squared. Your b is represented as 12. That's the middle term. So, 12 divided by 2 is 6. Pag in-squared natin, that's 36. So, we're going to add 36 here. So, dito, we're going to add 36 times 81. Again, hindi pwedeng 36 lang. Why? Kasi meron tayong 81 sa labas ng parenthesis. Now, we're going to factor. So, we have 49 quantity. So, to factor x squared minus 2x plus 1, this is perfect square trinomial. Get the square root of x squared, that's x. Get the square root of 1, that's 1. And in order for us to know the sign of this one, we're going to copy the sign here. So we have minus squared plus. Bring down 81. So we have square root of y squared is y. Square root of 36 is 6. And copy the sign of the middle term, which is plus. So we have y plus 6 quantity squared. Now we need to simplify 1004 plus 1 times 49 plus 36 times 81. And the answer is 3,969. Now, after this, we need to divide both sides by 3,969. After dividing both sides by 3,969, we will be able to find the standard form of the equation of an ellipse, and that is x minus 1 quantity squared over 81 plus y plus 6 quantity squared over 49 equals 1. After determining the standard form or transforming that into the standard form of the equation of an ellipse, again, we're going to identify the orientation. Again, to find the orientation, we're going to take a look on the denominator. The denominators are 81 and 49. As you can see, the greater denominator is 81 and it is below the variable x. Therefore, the orientation is horizontal. Now, the next is to find the center. To find the center, we have C, which is HK. Now, to know the value of h, ito yung laging kasama ni x. Ang kasama ni x is negative 1. We're going to negate negative 1, therefore, h is equal to 1. In order for us to know the value of k, yung k ay kasama ni y. Ang kasama ng y ay positive 6. So, therefore, negating positive 6, it will be negative 6. Therefore, center is located at 1, negative 6. Now, we need to find the values of a, b, and c. To find the values of a, b, and c, we need to write a squared, which is equal to 81. Why is it 81? Again, a squared represents the greater denominator. B squared is the lesser denominator, and that's 49. In order for us to find the value of a, we need to get the square root of both sides. So a is equal to 9. In order for us to find the value of b, we need to get the square root of both sides. Therefore, b is equal to 7. Now, to find the value of c squared, we have c squared equals a squared minus b squared. Using substitution property, instead of writing a squared, we're going to write 81, minus, instead of writing b squared, we're going to write 49. So we need to get the difference between 81 and 49, and the answer is 32. So we have c squared equals 32. Now, squaring both sides, we have c is equal to what? So we have c is equal to 4 square root of 2. Bakit naging 4 square root of 2? Let's recap your lesson in grade 9. In order for us to find or rationalize square root of 32, you're going to think of a perfect square that is divisible with 32. And that is 16. So we have 16 times 2. Square root of 16 is 4. So therefore, we have 4 square root of 2. That's the reason why c is equal to 4 square root of 2. Let's rewrite. A equals 9, b equals 7, and c equals 4 square root of 2. Now, in order for us to know the parts of an ellipse, we're going to use the graphing method. So again, okay, what are we going to do is to have the graphing method in order for us to identify the parts of an ellipse. The first thing that we need to do, we're going to rewrite a equals 9, b equals 7, c equals 4 square root of 2, or approximately equal to 5.66, and the orientation is horizontal. Now let's plot the center. The center is located at 1, negative 6. So therefore, we have 1 here and negative 6 here. So I'm going to rewrite the number of the Cartesian plane so that we will be guided. 4, 5, 6, and then negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, and then here we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, 11, negative 12, and negative 13. So we already plotted the center, which is located at 1, negative 6. Now, in order for us to locate the vertices, we need to count 9 units. Since it is horizontal, we're going to count 9 units to the left and right of the center. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So therefore, the first vertex is located here. Now we're going to count 9 units to the left. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the second vertex is located here. So we have b sub 1 and b sub 2. b sub 1 is located at 10, negative 6, and b sub 2 is located at negative 8, negative 6. Now, in order for us to locate the co-vertices, we're going to count 7 units since b equals 7. Since nagbilang tayo left and right to locate the vertices, now we're going to count upward, downward 7 units from the center. So, the center is here. We're going to count 7 units upward. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then, we're going to count 7 units downward. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, therefore, the second co-vertex is located here. So, therefore, we have this one. So, W sub 1 is located at 1, 1, while W sub 2 is located at 1, negative 13. Now, to locate the foci, we have 4 square root of 2. We're going to count 4 square root of 2 or 5.66 units right and left of the center. So, we have here, center. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since this is the 6, and it is 5.66 is between 5 and 6, therefore, foci, the first focus is located here. While, in this one, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the 6, so therefore, it's between 5 and 6, so therefore, it is located here. So therefore, f sub 1 is located at, we can see, it is 1 plus 4 square root of 2, and then it is located at negative 6 on y-axis. While f sub 2, we have 1 minus 4 square root of 2 and negative 6 for y-axis. Bakit po ganito yung ginawa natin at hindi tayo nag-decimal? So we need to have the accurate measurement. So, kaya nagdagdag lang tayo, naglagay lang tayo ng plus 4 square root of 2 doon sa each. Okay, so I hope so after that, we're going to connect the vertex and co-vertices to form an ellipse. And that's the equation, the graph of an ellipse. So that's all. Thank you and happy math learning. God bless everyone.